kerfuffle that you and Donald Trump are in. I
Really?
just wanted to know, are you surprised that this has become a thing in the press?
Or that he doesn't really know me? Is that what the deal is? Wow, that's awful. Let me see.
You think you know Donald Trump? Think again. Samuel L. Jackson, the coolest man in Hollywood, just dropped a truth bomb so devastating, so personal, it cuts straight to the bone. When I see Trump, I see the same rednecks I saw when I was growing up who called me an ente and tried to keep me in my place. Boom. That wasn't just criticism, folks. That was a historical condemnation, a searing indictment delivered with ice-cold precision. Trump, caught completely off guard, reportedly went nuclear. How does a man with an ego more fragile than a Fabergé egg handle being exposed like this? Stick around because this meltdown is one for the ages. Now, this feud didn't just appear out of thin air. Oh no. Like all great dramas, it has an origin story. And this one? It starts, believe it or not, on the golf course. Trump's preferred battlefield for proving his, well, something. Back in early 2016, before the chaos truly descended, Samuel L. Jackson was casually asked who the better golfer was. His response? Pure, unadulterated, cool as hell shade.
Asked who was a better golfer, Jackson recently said, "Oh, I am for sure. I don't cheat."
He didn't just question Trump's score, he questioned his integrity. In golf, the one place Trump desperately needs to look like a winner. Jackson nonchalantly dropped that truth bomb, the first public shot fired in a feud that would expose Trump's paper-thin skin for all to see. But wait, it gets better. Jackson wasn't done exposing Trump's, let's call it, unique business acumen. He revealed Trump's golf club tried to sneakily bill him for a membership he never even asked for.
And then you told the story, is this true, that he signed you up for one of your golf clubs and didn't tell you?
Yeah.
So you had to pay, like...
No, I didn't pay. I got a bill that I didn't pay.
Okay.
This wasn't just about golf anymore. It was about Trump's alleged grifting, his absurdity, his pattern of dishonesty, even in the most mundane things. Jackson wasn't just playing golf. He was playing Trump, exposing him like a cheap hustler trying to scam a Hollywood legend. It established Trump's character early on, petty, dishonest, and easily rattled. So how does the self-proclaimed master dealmaker, the stable genius, react when one of the most famous actors on the planet calls him a cheat and a grifter? Does he address the accusations? Does he provide evidence? Does he act like a normal human being? Of course not. This is Donald Trump we're talking about. Before we move on, smash that like button and subscribe because you know you don't want to miss out on this one. Trump immediately whips out his tiny phone and does what he does best. Deny, deflect, attack. I don't know, at Samuel Jackson, to best of my knowledge, haven't played golf with him and think he does too many TV commercials. Boring. Not a fan. You hear that? Doesn't know Samuel L. Jackson, one of the most recognizable faces on Earth. Claims he hasn't played golf with him. And the counterattack? Too many commercials. Boring. This isn't just a denial. It's a pathetic attempt to invalidate Jackson, mixed with an insult so weak it barely registers. It's the classic Trump playbook. When caught, lie bigger, lash out harder. He was caught off guard and lashing out. But Jackson? Oh, he was just getting started. The very next day, cool as ever, he strolls onto Late Night with Seth Meyers, ready to dismantle Trump's flimsy denial piece by painful piece.
Yeah, I met him a lot.
You played golf with him?
I played golf with him.
That he signed you up for one of your golf clubs and didn't tell you?
Yeah.
So you had to pay, like...
No, I didn't pay. I got a bill that I didn't pay.
Jackson didn't just refute the lie, he added damning details. Playing with Bill Clinton at Trump National Bedminster. He even mockingly reenacted Trump's phone call.
He called me one day. I was here in New York, and he was always calling him, Samuel L., the Don. I go, who? The Don. Oh, Mr. Trump, how you doing?
This wasn't just Jackson exposing a lie. This wasn't just about golf cheating. This was a public humiliation, live on national television. Trump's attempt to erase history backfired spectacularly. His denial? Utterly foolish. Actor Anthony Anderson jumped on Twitter, backing Jackson up. Come on, a real Donald Trump, you played golf with a Samuel L. Jackson and me as well. We also had lunch together. Shrimp and hot dogs. Sound familiar? Trump was exposed. Caught. Cornered by corroboration, what does he do? He panics. He doubles down, abandons the I don't know him lie, and launches more personal attacks. I don't cheat at golf, but it's Samuel Jackson cheats. With his game, he has no choice. And stop doing commercials. See the pattern? Project your flaws onto the accuser. Attack their competence. It's desperate. It's petty. And Jackson, he just laughed it off. Asked about the boring insult on Watch What Happens Live, he just chuckled.
Oh my God, did he tweet that?
Yeah, he did.
What was your reaction to that?
I look at my bank account, I laugh.
Effortless. Jackson swatted away Trump's pathetic insults like flies. This wasn't just a win, it was dominance. He established himself as the cool, unbothered powerhouse, making Trump look small, insecure, and utterly ineffective. But the golf feud, that was just the appetizer. Jackson wasn't done. As Trump stumbled through his presidency, Jackson's criticism grew sharper, deeper, hitting at something far more sinister than cheating on the links. Years later, Jackson unleashed the kind of verbal fury that doesn't just criticize, it condemns. He declared all-out war. This motherfucker is like ruining the planet and all kinds of other crazy shit. And if you're not saying anything, then you're complicit. This wasn't just about policy anymore. This wasn't just about incompetence. This was a moral indictment delivered with righteous fury. Jackson saw an existential threat, a danger not just to America, but to the planet, and he refused to stay silent. He was calling out the complicity, the silence, the acceptance of the unacceptable. And then he delivered the knockout blow. The quote that cuts deeper than any political attack. The quote that links Trump not to policy failures, but to the ugliest parts of America's past, to Jackson's own traumatic history. When I see Trump, I see the same rednecks I saw when I was growing up who called me N and tried to keep me in my place. Let that sink in. Jackson wasn't calling Trump merely problematic. He was calling him the modern incarnation of virulent, violent historical racism. This is the brutal exposure. Jackson finally naming the poison he sees at the heart of Trump's persona. And make no mistake, while the title mentions CNN, these devastating accusations, the core of this story, were dropped like bombshells in print. Rolling Stone, Esquire. Ensuring the words would echo, unfiltered, undeniable. Jackson didn't need a TV studio for this. The power was in the truth he spoke. How do we know these words hit their mark? How do we know Trump felt the sting, even if he wouldn't dare address this accusation directly? Because we know his playbook. We've seen his hair trigger reactions. Remember the golf feud? A minor spat, and Trump erupts with denials, insults, projection. He couldn't handle being called a cheat. Now, imagine his reaction behind closed doors to being called the embodiment of the racist rednecks who tormented Jackson's youth. Sources close to the Trump camp say his silence on this specific accusation speaks volumes. While he never publicly rebutted Jackson's comparison to rednecks, the fury was palpable behind the scenes. He knows he can't win a direct fight on this ground. Instead, he resorts to his standard deflection. Suddenly, it's all fake news. Hollywood elites, they hate your president.
You are fake news.
Sir. See? He can't address Jackson directly on the racism charge, so he lashes out generically. But we see the pattern. We know the tell. This is Trump losing it. Rattled to his core, unleashing his fury indirectly because he knows Jackson's words cut too deep. And the attacks on other black critics, that's not a coincidence. Trump couldn't silence Jackson, so he goes after LeBron James. Dumb. Maxine Waters. Low IQ. Black prosecutors. Racist. Animal. Degenerate psychopath. He even uses racist dog whistles like peekaboo against Letitia James. This isn't just random anger, it's displaced rage. It's proof Jackson hit a raw nerve, exposing an inability to handle challenges from powerful, successful black men daring to speak truth to power. This is the meltdown, constructed from his own documented patterns of behavior. The silence on Jackson's specific racism charge, combined with the loud, racially charged attacks elsewhere, that's the confession. While Trump flails, Jackson stands invincible. When asked if he feared backlash from Trump supporters, his response was legendary. "I know how many motherfuckers hate me. I'm never gonna see a Sam Jackson movie again. Fuck I care. If you never went to another movie I did in my life, I'm not gonna lose any money. I already cashed that check. Fuck you. Burn up my videotapes. I don't give a FK." Mic dropped. That's the ultimate power move. While Trump is consumed by petty rage, desperately trying to control the narrative, Jackson is utterly unbothered, financially secure, artistically independent, and standing tall after speaking his truth. The contrast couldn't be starker. Trump, the supposed tough guy, exposed as thin-skinned, dishonest, and resorting to tired racist tropes when challenged. Jackson, the Hollywood badass, coolly dismantling lies, weathering the storm, and getting the last laugh. Remember him laughing off Trump's boring insult on Watch What Happens Live? That's the dismissal of a man who knows he holds all the cards.
We can prove that Donald Trump is lying when he says he doesn't know you. This might be the thing that finally brings down his campaign. This might be the thing.
Oh well. That's the sound of Trump's entire attack strategy crumbling. Jackson didn't just expose Trump's character flaws, he exposed his weakness. He showed the world that the bully blinks first when faced with defiant confidence and unflinching truth. The beauty of it all? Jackson provided the blueprint. How do you confront a bully? How do you handle a liar? How do you stand up to the abuse of power? With truth, with defiance, and with zero apologies. Trump wanted validation from a Hollywood icon. Instead, he got a historical condemnation. He tried to silence a critic. Instead, he amplified a voice that exposed his deepest flaws. Samuel L. Jackson didn't just win the feud. He delivered a masterclass in standing up to the kind of racist bullying he, and too many others, have faced for far too long.